going. Let's do this. Yeah, Carsey first out. It's a common theme for the faster drivers, isn't it? They, like, the absolute fastest always want to be out first. They, I guess, best track conditions for them, completely clear. Only man out of every single other driver. It is Q1. He'll want to be out and in quickly, get it done, everything like that. He'll just want to be one lap in and out. Of course, first race of the season for Carsey. He was replaced by Jake. Which getting the win. Oh, Dan, you got an echo there.
Oh no, yeah, I didn't realise I had my audio turned on my phone.
No problem. Carsey, of course, yeah, didn't compete in Australia, and our championship leader not racing today. TTM Tundra not in the lobby. Arrows taking his place, the Tier 2 driver who just come off of finishing 13th in Tier 2.
So the first three drivers on track are all from the Mercedes Academy.
Well, they're quick starters, I guess. We'll go with that. But yeah, we'll see, won't we? I have to mention though, Coke. Of course, he is the third man out. He underperformed, didn't he, last week?
He did indeed. Not the sort of expectations we have of Coke. Obviously, the lineup has got more competitive, but hopefully we'll see more from Coke today.
Yeah, we hope to see it, because unfortunately he's just not quite been on it throughout the obviously last week. He came P3 in the championship, and now he's just, I don't know what it is. He didn't at everyone.
I thought I had done.
Right. No, you hadn't. Come on. You've got to at everyone. You've got to make sure that you annoy everyone so they watch it. I'm joking. At least we don't ping people as much as BBC or F1 Wow.
Who?
Wow. You know the Instagram account, F1 Wow?
No.
They have a league. I was in it for a little bit. 8 pings in 10 minutes.
Oh.
8 pings in 10 minutes. So I left, basically. And that was that for me. But Carsey, he gets a staff of oversteer there. Too much on the curb. Tried to pull across the track while still very much on it. And losing the rear end there is Carsey. An uncharacteristic error, it's fair to say, for the Mercedes Academy owner. And, well, of course, extra pressure for him. First race and being the owner of his academy. Well, we'll see what he can do here as he heads down into the final corner of the track and activates that DRS crosses line. What time to be for Carsey? It's a 31.4. We'll expect much faster time later on in the session. And of course, later on in Q2 and Q3. Oh, Coke's in the wall. He's damaged his front wing completely.
As Ryan is about to come across the line. And it's 1:31.5.
The BC boy and Carsey very close on pace so far then, it seems. Those two guys close on pace at the end of the season, of course. Last time.
Oh, Demolition Dan's round.
Again, Demolition Dan, uncharacteristic mistakes. Tier 2 champion, got a podium in Tier 1, if you remember, last season as well, when he was reserving. This man knows what he's doing behind the wheel of a car. He just somehow does not have the pace in Scarious Spunk. That's an extremely slow timer. Even I beat that.
I think even Tier 7 beat that, didn't they, Westy?
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
Who's going to be next? Is it one of the Alphas? It is. I think it's Stonks. As he comes around the last corner, hits the DRS zone, and Stonks takes provisional pole in
Stonks
Q1.
has been on form recently. He almost beat TRL Limitless to last week in a race, and we know that Limitless, despite his
off the track antics,
off the track. Yes. His reputation, shall we say. He is a very, very fast driver. That reputation has not changed. He is very, very fast, and Stonks almost beating him on track. Finished literally about 2 tenths behind him last week. So we should see some great pace. Of course, he beat him yesterday at this exact track. He's had a lot of experience recently round here as Stonks, so watch out for him today.
Jake's going to be next.
Almost had a practice run.
Last week's on-track race winner. Where is he going to put himself? It is only going to be enough for P5 with a 132.4.
Not well. In fairness, he didn't qualify too well last week either. His race pace really got right the way up there by the end, but unfortunately he wasn't quite as good. But in qualifying, and it's same story so far. But we'll have to wait and see. One of the two RRL named drivers here. Most of them are BRT named drivers. It's an overpowering amount. But yeah, it's also I think every single one of these drivers is in a semi-pro esports team, which shows how fast they all are. Shows how fast this league really is. That all of them do race semi-professionally at what they do. Of course, here racing at the top of their game. And trying the absolute hardest, and Kai goes up into second place. And it's currently a BRT 1, 2, 3, 4.
Thinking about it, Westy, I've just figured out we've got 9 drivers in the lobby who are all BRT.
Really? So you've got, of course, the top 4. Then you have...
Arrows.
Demolition Dan. Is Arrows BRT?
Arrows is BRT.
Oh, so you've got Arrows, Demo Dan,
BRT Louis, Alpha, and EXR Ollie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Although it looks like he's still in EXR. But yes, that is a lot of BRT drivers. Who is that? He moved up. That's Mary up into P6.
Who was that then? Was that Omega improving?
No, it was Maurice up
it
into
was Lewinsky.
P6.
Someone else
was it? Oh,
improved
yeah,
its
Lewinsky.
Lewinsky.
Yep, Lewinsky up into P7 in that Alpha Tauri. And yeah, looking very, very strong. And I have to say, Alfa Romeo, looking very strong in both Tier 1 and Tier 2. Aiden has done some great draft picks there. Some very, very good ones indeed. What was this?
As Aiden does hit the DRS zone in Sector 2. Aiden is currently on a lap if you want to ride on board with Aiden, Westy.
Yep, I'm on board with him as he comes down into turn 12 then. He's getting on the throttle once again. Full throttle as he heads into turn 13. TJ's up into P6. Now Alpha's up into P5. So Mercedes Academy looking great as well.
This is
Williams
the hardest part of the track for me. The bit that Aiden has just gone through.
For me, it's the first section. It's just so easy to invalidate. That's the problem for me, I have to say.
As Aiden does round the final corner now, this looks like it's going to be quite a solid lap from Aiden as well, to be fair. It's going to be P5.
It's P5. Aiden, over the winter break, he's absolutely picked up the pace, hasn't he? He's absolutely smashing it, and, well, his work's paying off up into P5. And watch out for him next week as well, of course. We all know he absolutely sweated the game when Imola came out. And, of course, it's Imola next week. So watch out for him in that one. He should be looking fast as Coke moves up into the top 10 and Lewinsky. He was P7 a second ago, well, he's now in P11.
Yeah, this field pretty close. Especially that top 3. And then you got a BC boy as well in P4.
Well, yeah, the top 3 are separated by 600ths of a second. Top 4 are separated by 1.5 tenths. But then from then on, you've got 5 tenths to the lead after that. You've got some. It gets pretty big in terms of a gap from there, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Demo Dan's going to be looking to make drastic improvements on his original lap. I know he had a spin on his first lap, but he is currently on a lap as well at the moment, going through Sector 2 into the DRS zone. As he does run down to turn 12 and takes a little bit of curb on entry, curb on exit, very nicely done there by Demo Dan, into turn 13. And
he's down on his time at the moment.
14. He is down on his time, is he? He probably is, yes, because his spin was literally where he's going round now. So he's going to improve on his time if he doesn't do a Cinderella as he rounds the final couple of corners now then. And round the final turn goes Demo Dan. He's going to punch that DRS wide open straight away. Little snap of oversteer there. And P14 for Demo Dan.
But he can go at least 3/10 faster. He was down by 3/10 in that middle sector, so we know he can get a faster lap time than that. And that would actually only 3/10 would actually only move him up one more position. But that could be the difference between being out of Q1 and being into Q2, as Hypes is now on a lap, and Louis is on a lap, and Ollie is on a lap. Ollie, it was so fast in Q3 last week, wasn't he? Absolutely smashed it in the latter parts. He was kind of just inconspicuous through Q1 and Q2, just sitting around P10. And then all of a sudden, he went up into about P3, or I think he started in P3, all of a sudden just in P3 in Q3, and that's where he stayed. And yeah, Ollie absolutely smashing it on that front, and we should see, I would think, about the same again as Louis goes right the way up into P4,
and Ollie takes
up into the
pole.
lead.
He could have gone faster as well, because he ran really wide there coming out of the last corner.
Has Mary won the race yet? No, the race hasn't even started. Come on. But yeah, Ollie will he'll be happy with that. He won't have to compete again. He almost hits his teammate as he cuts the grass there. That was an awkward moment for the McLaren boys. And there's a team up there for every single one of the academies except for Red Bull. And I have to say, I think Arrows will be upset with how well Demolition Dan's doing. I think you would have expected Demo Dan to be much higher up than he is.
Yes, indeed, obviously. I think everyone was expecting Demo Dan to be a little bit higher up the grid than he is currently. I've just realised Scarius has set his fastest lap on 5-lap old softs.
That could be why it's so slow then, couldn't it? Yeah, well, I say it's so slow, it's actually a decent time for me. But yes, it's Scarius, of course, 5-lap old softs. That's not going to be helping him. And well, he obviously tried to do it on one set. He's going to have to go out another set in this one to get through. There's Jake starting a lap to try and save himself, currently P15, just above that danger zone. As Hypes is on a lap now as well. Jake's teammate for the day. Jake, not known as the best teammate after last week, especially as a reserve, but we'll see, won't we? What goes down in this one. If Hypes and Jake aren't near each other, then he physically can't be a bad teammate. That's for sure, but we'll see.
I think the ones that are going to want to be kept separate on track is actually going to be Jake and his teammate from last week, a BC Boy, because I'm wondering if there's going to be a little bit of animosity, shall we say, between the two after last week.
Yeah, a BC Boy blaming Jake for his loss of the win straight after the race, saying how he would have won without him being in the way, and getting slightly angry, to say the least. And I think he's quite jubilant that Carsey's back in that Mercedes this time round. P4 Carsey currently in a BC Boy P6.
So, obviously, 3 minutes left of Q1. I didn't realise Stonks was going faster.
Why, though? That's the question. Why would you just burn your tyres even more? You might as well just stay on that time. It was a very safe time.
Alpha is currently a 10th up on his time.
Yeah, on board with him currently, as he's heading down the longest straight now, just over a kilometre long this straight, as he heads down towards turn 12. And it's one of a few tracks on the only a few where the longest straight isn't the start-finish straight, which is quite an interesting fact. Of course, Silverstone and Abu Dhabi being other ones. As he's up by 0.3 of a second now is Alpha. He heads down towards turn 15, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be a good lap from him. in that Aston Martin. He's such a strong driver, very, very consistent as well.
A good Sector 3 here
Tier 2 driver last season.
could possibly see Alpha jump in to around Louis and Carsi.
Yep. Was it last season or season 2 where Alpha was tier 2?
Last season it was.
The line. He goes, yeah. So he's gone from tier 2 to P8 now, and he's looking like a very, very strong driver is Alpha this season, and I'm expecting some good things from him throughout the season.
And obviously, don't forget, Alpha actually started in tier 3.
Did he?
He did indeed, because
well, so
I remember rightly.
So did Demo Dan as well.
If I remember rightly, I believe Alpha's first ever IFC race was the same day as my first ever IFC win.
Wow. Quite cool. Monkeys. Oh, Monkeys retired in the pit lane. So happy with P13 then, I guess. Both Alpha Oh, Lewiski's left this way too late. Look where on track Lewiski is. He's got a minute to make the line. He's not doing this. There is no way Lewiski is making the line now. Absolutely zero way. He's got a minute to make it.
Alpha's first race was actually not the same day. It was at Silverstone in Season 2. I thought it was Hungary, but I was wrong.
Kopi, you deleted your message probably because it was not a good thing to say. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah. Mary's is out now as well, so Mary is, well, I guess happy or done with this session. And will Lewiski make the line? We saw in Tier 2 it getting very, very close for, I've forgotten who it was now. I think it was Fastest Racer. He was literally like a second off of making the line.
Oh, Lewiski!
Oh, Lewiski bounced. Oh, no, he's not making it now.
To be fair,
he had to try.
I didn't mean to delete Kopi's message. I was meant to respond to it. And I pressed the wrong button. So, apologies, Kopi.
Right then, Arrows, Jesper and Demo Dan trying to save their races, well, their qualifyings, and Scarius Spunk, probably shouldn't have said the whole name, is out of this qualifying session. As Arrows is up slightly at the moment. Ow, my arm. There's Jesper now coming through the second last corner. Can he get himself out of that bottom 5? Push Mary's into it. Mary's, of course, will be hoping he can't, but Jesper going to try his absolute hardest, and he doesn't quite do it. Oh, it's 7 thousandths of a second between safety and not. We saw last week Jesper just being safe. Well, this week he's just missed out. Demo Dan will be next, currently up by 0.2 of a second heading into the final sector here. We know, again, he has an extra 10th in the middle sector somewhere. We saw it the first time round. He then just spun. Now, what can he do here? He activates that DRS, crosses the line. What time to be for Demo Dan? Not quite enough. And again, if you had that extra 10th, you would have done it. If he put together the perfect lap for him, he would be through, but unfortunately he didn't. And Aris is invalidated, so Mary will get through by the skin of their teeth. No, track extending the final corner isn't allowed. It's just that if you track extend so much that you don't actually come back onto the track before the line, it doesn't register it as being wrong. So yeah, that's how, I think it, who was it who did that? Was that Jake earlier doing that, or Ollie? Someone did that earlier, yeah.
It was...
So Rusty, unfortunately, not racing today.
Whoever is on pole, so provisional pole, it's Stonks, yeah.
Yeah. So Stonks doing that. Of course, it's not what you want to do. It actually does slow you down because you have to go on the grass, but yeah. Right then, the people eliminated are Jesper, Demolition Dan, Lewiski, Arrows, and Spunk. Why do I say Spunk instead of Skyrius? I don't know.
As we've got Kai in the
those
chat.
Are the guys who are out.
So Kai is watching the stream.
Oh, Ollie does it, apparently. Again, I think it's slightly slower because you have to go on the grass.
I'm trying to figure out who Jacob 5515 is. I'm not too sure who it is.
Same. I'm actually trying to work that out as well. I have absolutely no idea. I'm very sorry. It might be Jake, actually. But, yeah.
Jacob, who... don't mean to sound rude, but who are you? Me and Westy are trying to figure out who you are.
Yeah, we're trying to work it out. Very sorry about that. Right then, Q2 is underway, and we've already had lots of people go onto that medium compound tire. Carsey, Kai, Aiden, Alpha, Stonks, Omega, Jake, Maries, and Ollie, all on that mediums already, and the rest on softs currently. The ones on the mediums are confident, I'm guessing, with their ability. Carsey 100% is confident with his ability. He's coming out of the pits now. And the first man out of the pits, I believe, is...
Jacob is a time trial merchant and friends
Aaron.
with Kai, Ollie, and Louis.
Ah, right, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. You're a BRT guy then, I'm guessing. Who's that Pokemon?
That makes sense. Jacob
Yeah, he
is...
just joined, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's who he is. I did see his name pop up in the chat, in the welcome earlier, so... Welcome to IFC, Jacob.
Yep, very happy welcome to you. Hope to see you maybe racing in Tier 1 next week, maybe, as a reserve. Unless, of course, a spot becomes free. Right then, so Mary is the first person out on track. But, Dan, what I want to know from you is, who do you think is going to win this race right now?
Right now, who do I think is going to win? It's hard to bet against my boss in such circumstances, because we know, even though he's not had that much practice, what sort of pace he can bring to the table. But
just so everyone knows, he's talking about Carsey.
I don't think you can really rule out any of the BRT boards, I'll be honest with you. Any one of those could win this race, and then obviously you've got Jake as well, who we know has really strong pace. Obviously he showed that last week from starting, I believe, in P19 on the grid.
Yeah,
and
he got a 5-place grid penalty, qualified in P14. Mary gets his snap over Overseer immediately and has bottled their lap, so we'll not be completing this one as a lap.
So, obviously we've got some unknowns, shall we say, as well, who have made it through to Q2. Yep.
Monkey, yep.
We know...
No idea his pace.
Hypes is really strong pace. Coke as well.
We do.
And then Aiden has been really impressive lately. TJ, since Season 1, he's just been...
he's been up there the whole time.
He's been up...
Alfa Romeo doing a slipstream strategy. That's interesting. Aiden giving Stonks the slipstream down the main down the long straight. And that's a great little tactic there. Tier 4 Imola predictions, Kopi's asking for.
Tier 4 Imola predictions. It's going to be a hard... I'll be completely honest with you, I haven't watched much Tier 4 this season. I don't think I've actually watched any, so...
I haven't been able to either, no.
Because of work. I just haven't had the time to.
Commentating. I haven't been able to. I've got a much lamer excuse.
Apologies,
right.
Westy. I'm currently not watching the...
Watching the stream?
Yes.
Tier 4, I did predict, actually, in the Tier 2 stream, that Lay Off My Salt would win the championship. So I think I'm going to have to go Lay Off My Salt is going to win Imola. That's just kind of has to be my prediction, doesn't it? Well, actually, no, he cannot win this one race. I'm going to go with Marcus. I believe in Marcus.
I'm just quickly on my PC starting up a prediction, Westy, so The prediction will be, will Carsey get pole position?
Oh, that's a good question. He hasn't seemed to have the best one-lap pace recently as his teammate goes up into second. And Stonks, 5/10 faster. He's a master on the mediums, isn't he, Stonks? And Carsey getting a slipstream from a Mega there, of course, in the same academy. That seems to be working for them. Actually, I don't think he's getting a slipstream. I think a Mega is also on a fast lap. Carsey is catching him like no man's business. Alright, let me... I'm going to say no, and I'm going to bet 2.5k on it.
So 89% currently voting no for Carsey to get pole. As TJ goes fastest on the soft tyres.
Yeah.
What's happened to EXR Ollie? EXR Ollie's out.
Oh, he's spun. He is out. He's spun at what is a very weird place to crash, actually. I've just seen him from Monkey's point of view. And yeah, that's not good at all for a man who looked so strong last week. And now he's gone. You've already done it, XM. You've already done the prediction, mate.
So, who is going to be next on a lap? Looks like the McLaren. No, he's invalidated. Is it the Ferrari of Hypes? He's not on a very strong time at all.
No,
so
he's cooling down. Luis. No, he's invalidated. You just said that. Kai. Is Kai the next one to cross the line? No, Monkey. Monkey is the next.
It will be Monkey, yes. However,
at the moment,
Monkey's lap isn't the best.
No, it's not a fast one, so it will be Kai. And he is just coming down the main straight now. Not the main straight, the back straight.
And yeah, he's
how many
abandoned
points you have. It should be in the bottom left corner where it's next to send a message on mobile. Pookie saying he'll do it. I think every other driver, every other person has said no. But you know.
5% have voted yes. 95% have voted no.
That doesn't surprise me. It's looking like a very tight grid at the moment, I have to say. Kai said a purple middle sector. He's looking fast as he's about to come through the final couple corners here for that Haas team, for the Ferrari Driver Academy. What can he do here? BRT Kai, again, looking fast. Last week he invalidates on the final corner.
Very unlucky there for Kai.
Second fastest. The time would have been enough to beat Stonks, but he invalidates this and next lap. His tyres now going to be killing him. His tyres will be holding a gun to his head and saying, "What have you done?" Because he's absolutely screwed himself up and he knows it, cutting all of the corners.
The next one to actually, who we will actually see complete a lap will be Carsey.
And he is currently on his out lap. So I think, actually no, it depends whether Luis goes for another one. Actually no, it'll be Mary. Mary's on an out lap currently.
Is Mary on out lap?
Yeah. Mary's
yes,
on
she
an out
is.
Lap. So she is.
So
Mary's the only woman out of all of them, out of every single driver in Tier 1.
Believe so. Well, I suppose you could count the
TJ one.
Tier 2 reserve, shall we say? Arrows. I think you can count Arrows as a woman sometimes. So as
your voice cracks in Tier 3, you could count you as one as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Mary though, going through the S's.
Purple sector 1, it says on my screen for Mary's there. So strong.
And Mary's invalidates.
Oh, that was a silly mistake there. That was, yeah, lapse of concentration and off the track, unfortunately for her.
As we're going to now ride on board with Carsey, going down the longest straight on the circuit, and obviously DRS wide open, and as he is on the run down to turn 12, What is he going to be at the Sector 2 split? It's a 101.4 into turns 13 and 14. Very nicely through there. Turns 15 and 16, I believe that is, isn't it, Westy? He's just gone through there.
Yes, that's turn 15, yeah. Now he comes through 16, 17, 18. It's a 3-corner turn. It's a bit odd that Turkey doesn't do the same. But yeah, he's going to do the final couple corners now. And he's about to cross the line. What turn will it be for Carsey? Can he get himself right the way out there? He's not starting on the preferred tyre, but he is fastest by 0.4 of a second.
And next, it will be Coke-tastic. Oh, and Coke is getting dizzy there.
Oh, he's done that twice now today. Once hitting the wall. Again, odd place to crash. Must be a TT setup, because I haven't really ever seen people spin there before. Even I haven't spun there, and I've spun it nearly every single corner on the game.
Marie is currently nearly 0.2 up on her time through Sector 1. A little bit of lock up there going into turn 11.
Mary's is now going down towards turn 12 and is now hitting that apex very nicely. Almost invalidates on the outside, probably a little bit too deep in the end. Up 9 seconds, but that doesn't really mean much because their fastest time is a 1:58.1, which is just slightly off the fastest time. Oh, that's a big step over steer, and that will ruin their lap.
I think she'd be better off going into the pits here.
Yeah, I think she would. Well, is there enough time now? That's the question. I'm gonna risk it. Pookie's just said keyboard is the best. Yeah, why not?
Westy is the best in Tier 6.
Am I?
The standings do not lie at the moment.
The standings say I am, but it's about consistency. And that's something I haven't been known for in my racing career. Or in my commentating career, in fact.
That is why Westy took up commentating, if anyone didn't know.
Yeah, I was bad at racing, so I went, I'll commentate. And then, yeah, bam.
And now look at this.
About 1 year ago today, actually.
Head of streaming and comms in IFC. Life goals have been made.
Life goals, yeah. When I was 5, that's what I wanted to be.
As ZC Hypes comes round the final corner here at Kota and opens the DRS, and that's enough for P2. Only 0.03 of a second off Carty's time.
Yeah, he's looking very strong, and now Jake crosses the line. He goes up into fastest. Into provisional pole, I probably should have said, not goes up into fastest, but yes, he is fastest, and it's a 1-3 for Ferrari currently, and for the Ferrari Driver Academy, it is a 1-3-5.
It is going to be Alpha next, and he's currently a second up on his time through Sector 2, so might be worth riding on board with Alpha here, if he can make up a little bit more time through Sector 3, and hopefully be able to improve and solidify his place inside the top 10 and make his way through to Q3, as he is on the run down to the final corner now. Is Alpha, goes through it, hits the apex very nicely there, opens the DRS, and it's enough for P4 for Alpha.
Very nicely done from Alpha there, and he is looking stronger and stronger by the lap. TJ's on the lap.
Ty's coming across the line, and it's fastest.
Oh, first one's dropping to the 30s this qualifying session, so track obviously getting much faster. And TJ, he's already used one set of softs this qualifying session. This is third set of softs. He'll only have one more set heading into Q3.
A1
so his
isn't
first
going
lap
to set a lap.
Who won't set a lap?
A1.
Oh, he's not. He's retired in the pit lane. So Aiden will not be setting a lap time. He'll be starting in P14. That's not sorry, where he would have wanted to start.
Westy, you might not
P9.
want to read the chat.
I know, I've seen it. I've seen it. I'm just saying I've got a 14.8 in TT currently. I did 5 laps today. So, you know, although I won't have any time to practice for the rest of the week. So, fun time. Found this great YouTube channel that gives such good setups, I have to say. They're very, very good.
Which one is it,
telling
Westy?
anyone, I'm not saying.
You'll stay in DMs,
they
yeah?
are such good... No. Yeah, no, I will. They are such good race setups. They work perfectly for me, so stable. And it's improved my consistency, I have to say. They're very easy to find, in fairness. Literally, we have to do this, like, search up Imola F1 2021 race setup. It's the first one that comes up. But yeah, it's the one I've been using for the last 3 weeks, and it's been helpful. Actually, the YouTube channel I used for the Austria race last season, where I got a podium. So, you know, I guess those setups give me podiums. Who knows? Right, Luis is currently on a lap trying to save himself. Mary is trying to save herself. And a BC boy actually having to save himself here as a BC boy, having to use a set of softs in this qualifying session. He wouldn't have wanted to use a set of softs. Omega's moved up to P5, TJ's P6, Alpha's P7. And Stonks could be out here. He's not going to set another lap time. Could we see a shock horror miss for Stonks? It would require... No, he will be fine. It would have required Mary's and Louise to not complete it. Mary's invalidated. It would have been enough for Mary's. Without
Ryan
invalidation,
improves.
would have done it. Actually, no. If Louise gets this now, Stonks will... Oh! Here we go. Louise, cross the line. What time will it be? It's enough. Stonks is out. Stonks will not be competing in the final part of qualifying. A man who could have got pole position will be out. We're starting in P11, and that's devastation for Stonks. Both Alfa Romeo drivers out. Both looking so strong. Both could have been possibly top 5, but they're now out of Q2. Will not be competing in Q3 and are stuck in their positions. What a qualifying so far.
What a qualifying, Westy. Some shocks. EXR Rolly, Stonks, A1, and Coke all out in Q2.
Yes, they are. And
Westy, by the way, believe it or not, where you get your setups from is where I got my F1 2020 setups from.
see? Exactly. They're very good. I have to say. They are very consistent. So yeah, check that YouTube channel out. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to help out other academies. But if you're desperate enough for a setup, they are extremely helpful. Especially for someone who is trigger happy on my right foot. But it is Stonks, Mary's, Coke, A1 and Ollie who are out. 3 of which could have challenged for top 5, if not pole position for 2 of them. This is, that's changed the dynamic of this final part of qualifying. We've got 4 Ferrari Driver Academy drivers in here. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4 Mercedes Driver Academy drivers. And we have 1 McLaren Alpine and 1 Red Bull Academy driver. So we've got representation from all of them. But for Red Bull and McLaren Alpine, it's not looking too great.
TJ makes it into Q3.
Luis tried to get P11. He tried to get P11, but has managed to get P10 instead. Who knows? Who knows? I have to say, it's a shame Jake went undrafted, isn't it? He really is a super sub at the moment.
Jake didn't want a full-time seat.
Oh, interesting. He is a super sub, though.
So, I wonder what we're waiting for here, because we seem to be stuck on the Q2.
Oh, it's done the... Are you the lobby host? Who's the lobby host?
TJ.
TJ needs to leave.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, we're going. It's good. TJ, don't leave. It's one of those glitches that sometimes happens, so, yeah.
We had this glitch in my North American tier race last Monday in qualifying.
Yeah. yesterday, even the likes of BRS have it. It's yeah, it affects everyone, these glitches, and it's a pain in the backside, to put it lightly.
I tell you what, Westy, I was actually watching the Tier 2 stream, and I was a little bit shocked when Blocking was going through his Tier 3 champion predictions.
Why?
Because my name got mentioned.
He came fourth. He hadn't what I mean, you got fourth, and he races in the tier, doesn't he? So he has a bit of insight, and well, it feels like you can do it. I also feel like you have the pace to do it, mate. I have to say, you've definitely got the consistency to do it. Something I don't think I have.
It depends if I'm not a bottle job or not.
I certainly well, as Drew certainly was in tier 2 today. Oh, he was on for the win, and then got himself 15 seconds of penalties instead of the 9 he had before. Well, actually the 3 he had at the same time as everyone else, and then suddenly got 15, which lost him a podium, even a top 5 actually in the end. I think he got 6th. So yeah, big shame for Drew in tier 2. Bassi taking the win in the end. And after I said in Q1 that Alfa Romeo looking very strong in tier 1 and tier 2. Well, Alfa Romeo not in neither of them being represented in... Oh! Luis spins and he resets the track. That'll be penalty points for Luis.
So, looking at qualifying, there is 2 Mercedes, 2 Aston Martins, 2 Ferraris, and 2 Hasses. So
it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting how both the academies that have 4 drivers left have lost the individual teams. It's I don't know, quite weird. Could we see a 1-2 for Mercedes, then a 3-4 for Aston Martin, then a 5-6 for Ferrari, then a 7-8 for Haas? That would be quite nice on the order, wouldn't it?
And then Arrows finishing P9 as usual.
Oh no, he's the P10 merchant, mate. He's the P10 merchant. Gotta get that right. I guarantee if Arrows was to race in tier 7, he would come P10. You just know it.
The first lap of Q3 is underway with ZC Hypes as he goes through the S's at the Sector 1 split. It's 24-7. So I'm not too sure what the sector times are in comparison, because I haven't really done a lot of practice here, because I didn't race myself here this week. So as he enters the longest, I did not know. He enters the longest straight on the circuit then. The DRS wide open, moves to the left, getting a little bit of slip from Monkey in front as he goes into turn 12. Very wide on... Oh, that must have been close to an invalidation there for Hypes.
Obviously purple sector 2 as well, because he's the first one to complete sector 2. Is Jake faster or slower though? Jake is faster, purple for Jake. Now, so these Ferraris going faster than each other. Hypes coming through the long right-hander now as he drops down the hill. Very undulating track this one, isn't it? But as he comes through the final couple of corners, Hypes will be looking for a very fast time here. He'll want to be right the way up there, so he's got a good banker in case he does bottle his final one. He's a 31.3, and that is not what he would have wanted. He would have wanted to be in the 30s, although Jake goes much slower.
Who is next? It's Louise. BRT Louis, what is he going to set? He opens DRS, and it's P2.
Nicely done from Louise there. Alpha P3. TJ is invalidated.
Omega
P4.
P4
now.
Carsey, what's it going to be? It's going to be provisional pole.
But he hasn't reached the 30s yet. And Kai, we know, can get in the 30s. He's about to cross the line now. Will it be in the 30s this time round? Well, he activates that DRS, gets on the throttle. It is! It's a 30.9. We know he's got another 10th in there for Kai. He's looking so strong, and Carsey is going to be pushed to his absolute limits today. Something he hasn't had to do for a long, long time.
Yeah, obviously, Carsi, it was a fairly easy championship win towards the end for him, with NRM dropping out halfway through the season. Well, not halfway through, I think it was after about 3 or 4 races, and then the fight was really Carsi's on his own. Monkey, though, is going to be the next one across the line to set a lap, as he does come around the final corner now, opens the DRS. What's it going to be? It's going to be P8.
Yeah, not quite the time he would have been hoping for, as the BC Boy gets snapped over steering, he crosses the line. He still gets P4. There's definitely some more time in that for a BC Boy. But at the moment, it's looking like a 2-horse race for pole position. TJ will be the last one to complete the flying lap, so we'll see how good this lap can be as he activates that DRS and comes down the main straight now. He's pushing to his absolute limits here as he heads down to corner 12 on this wonderful track. Goes very wide there, using absolutely all of the track. And TJ is quite out of practice as well, isn't he? Of course, his controller just kind of dying recently. He's not had the opportunity to be able to race, and he's just kind of getting back into it again. Controller driver, of course, as well. Is he the only controller driver in this top 10? I think he actually might be. So he's a very, very strong driver as TJ, limited by that controller, of course. Oh, Carsi's left. Invite him back, please. He activates that DRS, crosses the line, he goes P8. Carsi's internet not liking him today for some reason. Hopefully he'll get back in though, as Omega is slightly up in that first sector. He's pushing for another lap in that Aston Martin. I think he can improve on this set of tyres. Those tyres are currently 2 laps old. He's only done 2 laps on them, so not too bad at the moment. Although he could have done more in other sessions, which I think is likely, as he had to scrape through the last couple, having to do some extra laps on the softs as he heads into turn 12, gets it nice and tucked in, and looking good so far as Omega.
He is, and he's currently 2 tenths up. That would be enough for P5, I believe, at the moment for Omega.
Yep, it would be. He's looking very, very strong indeed, but of course, we're going to see some improvements for other people, but he will also get those improvements as well. He's got to actually have to be really fast back round the track. He's not left himself much time for a final lap, has he? As he's about to cross the line now. Carsi's rejoined, that's good. He activates that DRS, crosses the line. What time will it be for Omega? It's enough for P3. He's absolutely smashing at the moment, is Omega. Very, very nicely done from him. Can he get round now, get on a fresh set of tyres, and do it all again? I don't think he's got enough time. I don't think he has quite enough time. We've got 4 minutes to get into the pits, get out of the pits, do a lap, and start that lap, start the next one. I don't think he's got enough time.
I don't think he has. I think he might be right there, Westy.
He's cutting all the corners he can, but he's cutting it way too fine. It's got 3 minutes now, 3 minutes 30, and it normally takes you about a minute in the pit lane, and he can't afford that. He really cannot afford that. He'll make it, saying Marcus. It's going to be a close one. We'll keep an eye on that, but Hypes has just started his lap. Dan, take us through this wonderful lap from Hypes.
So yeah, Hypes, as he starts coming through the S's now, very nicely through the first part of the S's and very nicely through the second part. What's his split going to be? Is he improved? No, he hasn't, and he invalidates. Very, very unlucky there for Hypes.
Yeah, luckily for him, though, he does have enough time to get back round the track, of course, regen that ERS and go again, but it's not really a confidence boost. Oh, Tundra broke his wrist, so that's why he's not racing. And Omega has retired. He's retired in the pits. He wasn't going to make it. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go in this session. He might have actually been able to make it. It might have been worth a try. But Alpha starts his lap now. Dan, take us to Alpha's lap.
So, yeah, Alpha on the run-up to turn 1 then. He just misses the apex slightly there. He could have took a little bit more curb there, I'd have thought. As he does go into the S's now, does Alpha. Alpha, one of the fastest drivers on the grid on his day. Is he going to be up on his time through Sector 1? only just 0.04 of a second is Alpha's improvement at the moment, and that won't be enough to gain any positions in this qualifying grid, as he does come through the turn 11 here at Kota. The DRS zone in his sights now. He's going to get that front rear wing open straight away as he punches that DRS button on his wheel. So up to gear 8 then for Alpha into turn 12. What is he going to be able to do at sector 2? Very nicely through there, and it's 2 tenths up on his time now. So that will certainly put him in contention. Round about P4 is Alpha at the moment into sector 3, and very nicely through the last couple of corners there, as he is going to come through the last 2 corners very shortly. Nicely through there into the final turn. What is Alpha going to be able to do here? Is it going to be much of an improvement? The DRS open, and it's a 1:31.2 for Alpha. P4. Alpha, Aston Martin running P3 and 4 at the moment.
Alpha looking very, very strong. And something I learned from that lap is that you can open your front wing with DRS as well.
Yeah.
I never knew that before.
It's been a long day, Westy.
Yeah, no, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Jake is slowed down, so he's going to go for one. He's just heading onto a lap. Monkey Monkey not going full throttle, so that is their qualifying session over. Yeah, that is qualifying over for Monkey. Already going very slowly. Yeah, so not full pace Monkey, and that'll be theirs over. Now as Carsey is close to the line, Kai starting their final flying lap, but Carsey is close. Can Carsey beat Kai's time? He won't have enough time to set another lap. Will Luis even make the line? Yes, just about. Everyone made the line. And Carsey now up slightly in sector 2, nowhere near enough to beat Kai. I think Kai's got this pole position here as he comes through the final 2 corners. Carsey going to try his absolute hardest to get this time out of the lap as he activates that DRS, crosses the line. It's just enough! What a lap time from Carsey. Gained it all in the final sector. He's absolutely smashed that. It's not quite the end of qualifying either. He's still got enough time if he wanted to, but he's actually run out of fuel. That's his limiting factor.
We need to ride on board with Kai here, because Kai currently looking like the only one that's really going to challenge that pole position at the moment, as Alpha doesn't improve. So is Kai going to be up on his time? He's not. He's down nearly a tenth.
In the first sector, he had nearly a tenth up. In the second, he's nearly a tenth down on his time. Could this all come undone for Kai here? Could Carsey with a monster final lap take it? It's between these two for pole. Who is going to take it in the end? Kai through the final 2 corners almost invalidates. Doesn't quite as he comes through the final one now. He'll get on throttle, activate the DRS and cross the line. It's enough for pole position. What a lap time from Kai. It's a 30.77 and it will be Mercedes in 2-3. And the Mercedes Academy, not quite actually, because Luis takes P3. He tried to get P11, remember? When he takes P3, he's in the top 3. Very, very nicely done from him. So it will be on pole for Kai. And, well, the rest of the Ferrari Driver Academy kind of going unnoticed. 7th, 8th, and 10th. And TJ slotting himself into 9th there. The Mercedes Academy looking like a force to be reckoned with. Obviously run by someone who's a lunatic, I think. Well, as interim, it's been run by someone who's a lunatic.
What was that? Sorry, Westy?
I said the Mercedes Academy is run by a wonderful human being that's definitely not a lunatic.
Ha ha ha.
I had to. Oh, that's great. Alrighty then. That is the end of qualifying. It's Kai starting on pole. He almost a tenth of a second there. 99 thousandths of a second. Luis is in 3rd. A BC Boy 4th. It's Omega in 5th. Slow Alpha in 6th. It's Jake in 7th. Hypes in 8th. TJ in 9th. And Monkey in 10th. And I have to say once again, What a lap from Kai. Seriously, I was not expecting that. He was down in the middle sector. If he got everything right, we could have seen... We definitely could have seen what... well, a... 30.6, in fact. That would have been ridiculous. If his lap time that he got wasn't ridiculous enough. Woo, yeah. I got it right. I got the prediction right. Yeah, I know it's Carsey's first race back, of course. You gotta make sure you remember that. Oh, it's looking a bit gloomy here in Texas. It's looking a bit gloomy.
As a new prediction has just started, will we see a safety car in the first 3 laps?
Oh, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? We shall see. And yeah, it is looking a bit gloomy, isn't it? That's very weird for such a track. Of course, known for its sunny skies and ridiculously hot weather is Texas. And obviously everything being big. But yeah, it's odd that it's very, very dark. Of course, we saw a wet race yesterday. Could we see some rain today? I don't think so. It's not looking like there's enough clouds for that, but you never know. You never know. Alright then, the tyres people are on. The only man outside the top 10 who's not on the mediums is Coke. Coke looking for a good start in his Williams, trying to jump, I'm guessing, Stonks and Mary's at the start. And Stonks, he's got to make an amazing race here on that medium compound tyre. But as I said before, Stonks, he knows how to work that medium compound. He really does.
Who is your prediction for the race win here, Westy? Actually, scratch that. Who is your prediction for the top 3, Westy? Third down to first.
Wait, Kai has disappeared down the road. Why has he done that? Kai's just like accelerated ridiculously. Carsey's not gone with him. Kai's just going to have to wait up. But I think the top 3 is going to be Carsey, a BC Boy, and Stonks in any order.
Very, very interesting. That is... I was expecting you to put Kai in there, to be honest, Westy.
I think Kai... I don't think Kai's consistent enough to take the win. From what I saw last week, I don't think he is consistent enough to take the win. I don't think he's... I don't know. I just don't know whether he has the consistency to take it. I know Carsey does. I know a BC Boy does. I've seen them do it. I know Stonks does. I've seen him do it. Does Kai have it? I haven't seen him do it. I don't think he does.
For me,
from what I've seen,
I think Jake will take P3. I think Carsey P2 and Kai will win this race.
You've just taken mint elephants and switched Carsey and Kai.
Yeah, I didn't even realise that. I've only just looked at the comments.
Yeah, Jake has got some insane race pace. So that could be a possibility, and also very good at keeping penalties down is Jake. So yeah, definitely a possibility. But it will be a battle of penalties, I have to say. We saw that in Tier 2 through winning on track, but it was Bassi for the win. But here we go, 5 lights. And it's go, go, go here in the USA, and Kai gets a great start. Carsey gets slightly sluggish off the line, and a BC Boy jumps Luis at the start here. Oh, and Hypes almost hits the back of a BC Boy, having to swerve round. There's 3 wide at one section there. A Ferrari, a Red Bull. Oh, and Aston Martin in the wall. They're all out.
TJ's out.
Yeah, TJ is out. I saw that happen. And, well, Jake and Alpha have lost their front wings. Surely we have a safety car. Surely.
Not the best of starts for the Red Bull Academy. Demo Dan, Arrows, both losing their front wings. TJ out of this race.
Alpha, a man who looked so fast in qualifying, he was sideways on the wall earlier. He did a Cars, a Lightning McQueen.
And we've got a VSC.
Safety car. He must have a full safety car, surely. There we go. Full safety car.
Shall I pay out the prediction, Westy?
I think you should. We do have a safety car in the first 3 laps. And TJ is out. It's not good. Not good at all for the Red Bull Academy. He was the only man in the points for them. And it's just not worked out. 3 wide through turn 1 was never going to work. And all 3 of them ending up in the wall. He was the only one who was out. Oh, XM was the only one who predicted that there would be one. Tier 1 dirty. No, I think it's because they're just racing harder into turn 1. I have to say, Min. They're not being as careful. They're just absolutely going for it because they have more confidence in themselves, I think. As Kai tried to fake into the pits. I have to say, pitting might not be the worst thing in the world. As Aiden loses lots of positions there all of a sudden. That was weird. And Stonks is up to P8. Stonks with a great start. Ollie's gone from P15 to P7. He's up 8 places in this race. Scarius is up 7. You've got A1 up 4. You've got Lewiski up 4. Arrow's actually up 1 even though he's in the pits and has lost his front wing. That shows how bad of a qualifying session he had in terms of the rest of the grid. Carsey and Kai have not changed positions. A BC Boy up into P3. We'll see.
Westy, go and vote on the poll which has just been started.
Oh, Mercedes. Has to be.
This...
Right, you know what? I'm so confident. I'm betting 10. So I'm not confident at all.
So which academy will score more points? Will it be Mercedes or will it be Ferrari?
We'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. I have to say though, this safety car of course allowed Jake, Alpha, Arrows and Demo to get back into this and back towards the pack again. The safety car, I wish it could come in now because the car's been cleared and people are going to be on the back of the pack, I think by the end of this lap. So it'd be nice if it could come in, but it won't.
Very unfortunate for TJ. And really the bottom 5, including TJ in that.
Yeah, not good at all for them. And yeah, Alpha, I have to say, biggest shame for him in my opinion. He was on the inside of that and was kind of already halfway off the track. Jake sandwiched in the middle. TJ on the outside. It was just a whole mess. Alpha being a passenger. In fairness, all of them kind of being passengers. Their cars just interlocked, and when they all tried to turn for a corner, it didn't work. Yeah, Alpha did a wall ride. Yeah, that is true. That means safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap now.
I actually think something happened between... I don't think Arrows and Demodam were involved in the collision with...
No, they weren't. Yeah, that was their own thing.
That actually happened off the start, I believe.
Oh. Oh, I didn't see that at all. I know that Jake Alpha and TJ collided. I know that Arrows and Demo weren't involved, but they collided off the line. That'd be very weird. Oh, he's out! After qualifying P50 spun. He's spun under safety car. Well, if Grosjean can do it, if George Russell can do it, well, Ollie can do it as well, I guess. But, wow. Not expected at all. That is very, very weird.
Not even Westy Dog would do that.
I love how I'm yeah, I wouldn't actually. I don't think I've actually done that in real life. There's the difference on a start. It was a rolling start in a karting race, yeah. Coming through the tightest corner, which is the second last corner. I get on the throttle, coming out of turn, out of that corner, trying to warm up my tyres and spin.
Only Westy Dog could do that.
Yeah, it wasn't my proudest moment. I was starting in second last anyway, so it wasn't like I was losing many positions. and I got back to them by the start of the race, but it was a bit like, that no one saw that. It's fine. Nothing happened. Whoopsie daisy.
However, Westy, safety car is in this lap.
Yep, safety car in this lap. And Kai will lead us off on this one. And Carty will be following him like a hawk here. He'll be making sure he doesn't keep his eye away from him. Actually, just want to quickly check what tyres the bottom 5 have gone on to. Well, the bottom 5 have gone on to. Coke, they've all gone on to mediums. So, yeah.
So, one person voted for...
He's gone! Kai's gone! Already! And Carsy's so far behind, 8/10 behind. And that's very, very early to go.
What a restart there for Kai. Already got that second gap.
It's worked very nicely. It's worked nicely for Hypes as well. Of course, in the same academy as Kai, going to dive down the inside now of Luis into turn 1. Can he make it work here? Oh, they bang wheels a couple times. Bang barge boards as well. And Hype's looking to be through now on Luis. Yes, he is through.
Omega is in the mix of that battle as well.
Yeah, he is. He's looking to get involved. And Stonks is the cork in the bottle, of course, being on that medium compound tyre. The first man on them out of the whole grid. He's going to be looking to just try and hold on by the time that DRS gets activated again. And Carsey has got to try and catch Kai. And Kai's car is so close to the ground. Sparks flying in nearly every single acceleration zone for Kai. He's definitely going for that low rate, isn't he?
He is indeed. Sparks flying off the back of Louis as well. Where is the battle?
There's not that much battling, I have to say. People are just kind of taking it careful. These guys don't make stupid dives. They know exactly how to make moves, when to make moves, and what the right decision is. These guys, the most experienced guys in the league, they've seen it all, and yeah, they know exactly when the move's on and when it's not. And Carsey and Kai are starting to pull away in a league of their own, and Carsey has set fastest lap. I think only just as well. We'll check that. Yeah, he was only 0.02 of a second faster than Kai that lap.
So, Kai still got that second gap at the moment. Losing a little bit of time to Carsey through the S's though.
Carsey flung it through and might be able to get a little bit closer, but loses time up the hill again. It's going to be a bit of a ping-pong battle there in the times, and Stonks has got to try and hold on. He's got a lap now to get onto that DRS.
The closest battle on the track at the moment between Lewinsky and Scarius, but two drivers who have got history in 15th and 16th in Coke and Alpha as well. Westy, take you back to Portimao last season. The exit of Alpha's race when he looked on for his first ever Tier 1 podium.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Lewinsky's making a move on Scarius down the inside. Scarius goes so deep, he locks up completely, trying to hold on to that. Jake locks up in front of Scarius as well. But Scarius is not having a fun time, of course. ABRL champion of last season for them. He's not having a fun time in IFC so far, is he?
He is not at all. As we will see DRS enabled this lap. Yes, we will.
It is. The gap between a BC Boy and Carsey is 2.3 seconds now, as Carsey is close to Kai, and these two are just disappearing at the front, aren't they? It's going to be a two-horse race to the win, but my point still stands. I think Kai's going to spin.
I don't
know why, but
I think these two really are just a class above the rest of the field here at the moment. Obviously, the gap to a BC now 2.6 seconds in third as Omega's a spinner.
And that screws up the Mercedes Driver Academy. Of course, all of you guys who voted for them getting more points, well, they are. It's now falling down after Alpha and Omega both crashed out. No, well, not out, but they are they've crashed, and now Carsey's looking for the move for the lead of the race, up into the lead, and he takes it. Carsey jumps up into P1, Monkey jumps up into P8. So one Haas lost a place, one Haas gained a place in that lap.
Will Carsey be able to hold on though? Because I'm sure Kai will be piling on the pressure this race on Carsey. These two don't really look separated by that much whatsoever here at Kota.
No, they're not. These two so close on their ability. And again, Carsey hasn't had to whip out these moves for a long time. Last season, he just kind of won the first couple of races and disappeared.
Coke's a spinner.
And now he's having to pull out all the stops. Oh, Coke, a man who, again, came third last season, only lost second in the last couple of races. And it's not been a fun season for him, has it?
It has not whatsoever. As
You're making me yawn now.
Sorry, Westy.
Oh.
The man who
Kai
finished
is 5 tenths
P2
away.
is currently P3 in this race.
Yeah, he is a BC boy in that Mercedes. I'm surprised that Carsey managed to sign a BC boy to the team with him. That was a steal and a half, I have to say. But yeah.
That was because a BC boy was not one of the first 10 Tier 1 drivers drafted.
Really?
He was not.
How?
As Hypes makes a move on a BC, but a BC fights back with a switchback. There's a cracking battle going on here for 3rd and 4th at the moment.
He is looking for it, and Luis is right behind, and Stonks will be thinking, yes, come to me. As he's in P6 currently, he's just going to be sat there dreaming about them all crashing out, and, well, not Hypes, but he will be dreaming about a BC boy and Luis crashing out, and getting further up. Because, of course, he is top of the medium runners. He will be P1 when the soft runners all pit. It is a bit creepy. That was the pointy, like, come on, man.
What's that?
Me saying, come to me. I believe.
Was you singing that to
It was a
Enoch?
bit creepy. No, I wasn't. As Hypes is now right behind the BC boy, he's going to be looking for that P3 as much as he physically can. Of course, going to have the DRS again, and Kai is almost out of the DRS of Carsey. It's going to be close to get to the split line. Will he get it? Yes, he will. Just about 5/100ths was the gap between him getting it and not getting it, and now we're starting to get the first penalties of the race. And Stonks has the DRS on Luis now. That means he'll be able to hold back Mary's much easier. And Stonks and Mary's really flying on that medium compound tyre, aren't they?
They really are.
Oh, the BC boy gets passed by Hypes. Hypes up into P3 now in that Ferrari, and a BC boy tries to fight back, but in vain.
What a start for Aiden as well.
Yep, he's jumped up many positions. He's looking very good as Aiden. He's just got to try and get past Monkey now and up into P8. Start trying to chase down Mary's. And again, Kai close to not getting the DRS again.
Hypes is out.
Hype's out. He spins at a corner where you don't expect to spin. That is such an odd place to crash, but he's done it. And that's meant that a BC boy and Luis can pit.
Will we see a
Carsey
safety
and
car?
Kai can't. Carsey and Kai will be able to pit by the end of the lap. I think they're expecting a safety car. If there's not, they kind of screwed themselves over here. It's about the right time to pit, but maybe a little early. No safety car.
Not even a VSC.
Have a BC boy, Luis and Monkey all ruined their races here. Stonks up into P3. And, well, we shall see. As
Kai does have the DRS on Carsey again, down the main straight.
He does. 6 tenths is the gap. I don't think he'll be close enough to make a move. No, he won't be. So Carsey keeps the lead for the time being. And Carsey has got 40% more ERS as well. Carsey starting to run away here. Oh, Beastie Boy gets some massive stuff over series. He's chasing down Omega. We'll have the DRS, and Nowitzki gets past Jesper up into P7. But can a Beastie Boy get close enough to Omega? That's the question. Omega actually using a little bit of ERS there to make sure he stays ahead. Yeah, because the Beastie Boy can't dive quite that far. If he hadn't used that little snap of ERS, I think the Beastie Boy would have gone for the move. As we have Coke spinning again. He's in the wall once more. And he's not having a fun day. When will Carsey and Kai pit? That's the question. Dan, when do you think they're going to pit? He seems to have lost Dan. Mary's in trying to make a move on Stonks now. Has he left the party? No, he hasn't. Dan, you there?
Yes, I'm here, Westy. So
back.
I'll be expecting Carsey and Kai. I reckon they'll probably go to around lap 12 or 13. Probably lap 12, I'd have thought. And then you'll see those two going in for the mediums. I don't think you'll be seeing them going quite just yet.
No, and now Kai is out the DRS range. He got the DRS still, I think. Yes, he did, just about. But he is now outside of it. He'll obviously get back within. Now, will Omega play the team game here? Will he play the game for Mercedes and hold up Louise? Because he can give a Beastie Boy a big, big gap here. Then do him a big, big favour if he can hold him up. He's going to try his absolute hardest. Is Omega? No, he's not. He actually glitches behind him.
Westy, have you seen what's going on here? Mr. P10 is in P10.
He is in P10, isn't he? No, he's not. That was short-lived. That was very short-lived. A demolition Dan moves up into P10. Is it provisional? Let's look at the penalties. It's provisional P10! We'll go with it. We'll go with it. Provisional P10 for Arrows. Lovely.
As Kai still has DRS on Carsey.
Yeah, just about. He's really having to use all of his ERS now. He's on 15%.
I absolutely love turn 1 on the game here.
I hate it. It's the worst corner ever. I always lose about 2/10 every single time I do it. It's, yeah, not a consistent corner for me, I have to say. I think it's one of those corners you either love or hate, or maybe I'm just weird.
It's the Marmite corner.
Yeah. The Marmite corner, we'll go with that. A bit like the Marmite sector of Japan, is the first sector. You either love it or you hate it. And if you don't know what Marmite is, it's this spread that you either love or you hate, basically. And Omega has glitched again. He was in the... Wait, Omega was in the pits. He changed his tyres, and then it glitched him onto the start-finish straight once the tyres had been changed.
Okay, that's a bit of an odd one.
Yeah. He does have Eli Wi-Fi, doesn't he? That is very strange, and Arrows is now down into P13, so no longer even in provisional P10, which is a shame.
As Carsey and Kai... Oh, Kai gets 3 seconds.
3-second time penalty.
And Kai's in.
Pits. We saw in Tier 2 that the undercut works miracles. It really helps out a couple drivers. Will it be the same? Can Kai get ahead of Carsey? That's the question. But I think Carsey, if Kai gets ahead of him, he'll just be like, yeah, I can stay within 3 seconds, I'm all good, just sit there. And if I need to, if I get a penalty, I'll then overtake you. But he'll be happy just sitting there and just kind of gliding along.
Has Carsey got any warnings? Let's quickly check. He's got one
Kai
warning.
Is caught in a truckload of traffic as well. He's right behind Jake, is Kai. He's literally come out in a battle. That is the completely wrong timing, as
Alpha's out.
Alpha has DNF'd in the pit lane in the season time pits.
Every academy now has one driver out of this race.
I would actually argue that it's one of the fastest from each academy as well. Arrows gets through another 3-second time penalty, but yeah, it's one of the fastest from each academy as well.
Oh, Kai makes
Alpha.
a little bit of contact with the rear of Jake.
Oh, yeah, he's got to be careful. He really does. He doesn't want to risk this. He pitted at just the wrong time, didn't he? To come out in this battle. Big shame for him there. What's the gap to the leader between these guys now? You see, Kai, 18 seconds behind. This has held him up massively. Where will Carsey come out if he pits now? Is he still gaining time on Lewinsky and likes of Jesper? No, he's not. He's actually losing time to them. So he has to
Carsey is in.
And he does so. The Stonks will inherit the lead. But not by much. Oh, Lewinsky's round. Lewinsky is round. Big shame. Big shame for him. And Luis is retired now as well. Oh, no. That's the second retirement for McLaren. Both their drivers are out. Now, will Carsey be ahead or behind this battle? He's going to be close. Is he ahead of Jess Burble behind him? Is he ahead of Kyle behind him? He's ahead just of Kai. It's just about worked for him to live the top 4. He's got to try and get in the DRS range of Aiden. Will Aiden slow down for him? Will he help him out? Of course, both being admins, will they be kind? He doesn't need to be. Aiden's pushing, but Carsey's already within the gap. He is a madman, is Carsey. He will be flying past Aiden, I think, straight down the back straight.
I'd completely agree with you there, Westy.
And a BC boy pitting 3 laps earlier. He's sunk, hasn't he? He's so far behind now. The gap to Carsey from a BC boy, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7-second gap. It was 3 when he pitted. It was 3. He's lost 4 seconds due to pitting those laps earlier. Ridiculous.
I think those guys have committed to the 2-stop now.
They kind of have to, don't they? I said, have they ruined their race? And I think they have. A BC boy might miss out on another... Well, he got the podium last week, but might miss out on a podium like he missed out on a win last week due to, well, a teammate, so the Williams crashing out. Well, not out, but yeah, crashing. Stonks and Murray, again, they're flying, aren't they?
They are indeed.
They're so fast on the mediums. These two could definitely fight for a podium when they switch on to those softs in, well, about 5-6 laps time.
We've had a good race so far here in Tier 1.
We really have, we really have. As we,
And look how far in front of Carsey is already.
2 seconds is the gap. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I think Carsey, he knows what he's been in this situation before. He knows what to do. He has the ability to do what he needs to do, and he is just going to be pounding in laps now and making sure he is consistent as possible. No penalties, and he'll be fine. And yeah, he is doing very, very nicely indeed, is Carsey.
I think the likes of Coke and that will be waiting for a safety car.
Yeah, they will. Coke, Omega, they'll both be waiting for a safety car. Omega, yeah, it's a shame for both of them, of course. Own fault, but yeah, it is a shame. Hope to see, maybe hope to see a safety car.
You still there, Westy?
Interesting if there was a safety car in 5 laps.
What did you say? Sorry, Westy. My headset sort of.
I said it's a shame that they're both. It'd be interesting to see if there was a safety car in about 5 laps time.
I think you'd see pretty much everyone going in for softs.
You would, but it would also mean that Stonks and Marys have got the strategy perfectly if it comes in about 5 laps. And it might mean that they're in P2 and P3 on track. Because I don't know whether Kai would catch them in about 5 laps time, because Carsey is dropping Kai, well, and catching Stonks and Marys. He's catching them faster than he's dropping Kai, but still, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it certainly will.
Slight echo off of you as well, sorry.
Yeah, I'm just sorting that now. I didn't notice that.
Thank you. And also, of course, if there was a safety car in a couple of laps, it would mean that, well, the order would stay at about this. A BC boy right up next to Discarius Skunk now will be looking for a move, but yeah, the grid would, the order from the restart would be about this, as Arrows moves up into his birthplace, P10.
So,
And actually, it's the Red Bull Academy guys that are left, all fighting over the singular point in this race. It's not what they would have hoped for, I have to say.
all three of them, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, although Arrows, he must be ecstatic with this. Of course, after P13 in Tier 2, I don't think he was expecting any better than P13 in Tier 1. Well, looking like he could do it. Now you see, it's going to be hard for Carsey to make a move, actually.
Is Lewinsky committing to a two-stop going in now?
Yeah, he has committed to a two-stop by doing that. You can't get... Could you get the softs to the end? You could. You could get the softs to the end. It's possible. They're just going to be very dead. Because the mediums can go 22 laps, as we saw in Tier 5. But would you want them to? No, is the answer. And I think Lewinsky is going for it. I think he's going for it. As now Carsey is going to look for a move on Mary's here. Will she defend hard? No is the answer. And kind of just allows him through. Will he get past Stonks now as well? Not quite. Close enough. And Coke is close to being lapped. As soon as you get laps in this game, you might as well call it a day. As Jake and Abisi Boy side by side. Can Abisi Boy make the move here? He's going to try his hardest down the inside.
Oh, yellow flags. Is that Coke again?
It is Coke again. So Coke might as well retire, unfortunately. Yeah, Carsey did 14 laps on the soft, so it's definitely possible for Lewinsky to get to the end. But again, you probably wouldn't want them to. They'd be dead. You wouldn't like them, but yeah, it's possible. And now Carsey, will it be a move into turn 1, or would he have to wait until turn 12? This fighting has allowed Kai to get closer, but of course Kai still has to get past Mary's, and hasn't managed to at the first time of asking. Unlike Carsey, the first time he caught them, he made the move.
As Coke's out, he has retired.
Yeah, it makes sense, you can't come back from that, as A1 is now in the pits, and so is Skyrius. The second and third people to go onto...
Carsey picks up 3 seconds.
Gets a penalty. Here we go. Could this put Stonks later on in the race in a great position here? Because of course Stonks will be on the softs and he'll be much faster. Could this put Stonks in a position to win if he doesn't get a penalty?
It certainly could do here.
I'm obviously thinking quite far ahead, and it's an if he gets close enough, but we'll see. We shall see as Carsey flies past Stonks. Can Kai get close? No, he definitely cannot get close enough to Stonks. Will Mary send it back down the inside? No, she won't. That would be stupid. So stays in P4. And they're just going to hold on for probably another 2 laps now. And then we'll go on to the softs. If that. There's Jess Burb on Jake down the inside. That's not going to work. Jake cuts off that move and stays ahead. And the BC Boy actually, provisional P3.
He is indeed. So, could we see a Mercedes double podium here?
We definitely could, of course. Did we see that last week? No, we didn't quite. Stonks and a BC Boy, the other people on the podium, of course, Tundra winning. And here we go, Stonks and Marys are in the pits. I said we might have to wait another 2 laps. No, they're in now. On lap 18, with 11 laps to go, they come into the pits. That's easy enough. It's easily fine for the softs. Who gets the better exit out the box? Will it be Stonks or Mary? It will be Stonks, staying ahead of Mary's there.
Kai gets another 3 seconds.
Will Monkey be ahead or behind of Stonks and Mary's? That's the question. They just get ahead of him. And now that gap is 9 seconds to a BC Boy. They can close that. And then they only need another 6 to Kai to take his place because of penalties. And they only need then another 1 after that to beat Carsey. So, but that is a tall order. It's a very tall order, but they could do it. They could definitely do it. And now the question is as well: Will Stonks work with Marys, or will Marys try and fight him? I think it would be a bit dumb to fight him. They should probably work together, don't you think?
Yeah, more than likely they should. Yeah.
And Marys, won't be going for the move as she's done multiple times in this race already. They've just kind of been pulled along by Stonks. And Stonks, that gap was 8.9 as he exited the pit lane. So BC Boy, the gap now 7.5. They're not even completed a full lap. This is definitely on for them. Definitely on to get a podium. Is it on for the win for Stonks? I think he could do it. It's going to be a tight one though. Mary's is probably just looking for a podium now.
However, don't forget penalties will come into play. Carsey, obviously, with penalties. Kai with penalties as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Stonks, I don't think Stonks can beat them on track. I don't think he can. I don't think he's going to be close enough. But it's going to be close with those penalties, whether he can do it or not. That's going to be the close bit, in my opinion. The Skyrius sets fastest lap. Shows that softs are working. And again, yeah, gap 8.9. He's gained 2 seconds in 2 laps. It was 8.9. It's now 6.5. 2 seconds in a lap. That's ridiculous gains. And Abisi Boy's lost half a second to Kai, and Kai has lost 0.2 to Carsey since. So, well, that is about a second and a bit gap. Is catching to Carsey every single lap at the moment. And Abisi Boy gets a penalty. That will probably throw him definitely off the podium now. Oh, it will, yeah, it will throw him off the podium. For sure. Alright then, this is Stonks looking so fast, and Mary's as well, of course, right behind him. Could we see Stonks then Mary's 1-2? That is definitely a possibility. But I think Stonks, if he doesn't get another penalty, this win is his to lose at this stage. I'm going to say it. It's his to lose.
It could be indeed. Obviously, Stonks is definitely in the best position possible here. As pick up fastest lap of the race.
A1 gets a penalty. A still would take P6. So, again, A1, he has such, like, he goes under the radar so often, doesn't he? And then suddenly he's top 5 by the end, or top 6. It's really odd, but he's catching Monkey and should be able to take that position. And yeah, Aiden looking very strong. Just because you got 0 warnings doesn't mean you're better than Carsey, I'm just saying.
Who's this?
Like, you could, XM. You could get 0 warnings by crashing out at turn 1. Doesn't mean you're better than him. Even I could do that.
The only person without a penalty now in this grid is Stonks.
It's Stonks. He is a master at not getting penalties, isn't he? He is absolutely smashing it. And well, the gap is now 3.9 seconds. We are on lap 20 of 28, about to go on to lap 21. And he's almost got provisional P3. This is a mega drive from Stonks. If he can go from P11, it would be, to possibly the win, or maybe just a podium.
That's what the Alfa Romeo Ferrari Academy team leader is going to be hoping for. Obviously, he's also his teammate in this race, so he's going to be hoping Stonks can pull a good result out of the back here.
And actually, talking about him, he is in the DRS Ranger Monkey now, on the softs, and he's going to be trying to pull ahead of him, of course. He's got the provisional place, but we'll want it on track, and then we'll want to try, maybe, catch up to Abisi Boy by the end. It's unlikely. He's a good 12 seconds up the road, but it's a possibility, and he's going to try his absolute best to maybe get there and possibly get himself that top 5. But it's a hypothetical at this stage. And Stonks now the gap, 2 seconds. This is ridiculous. You can now see Abisi Boy on track. You can see him up there, and that just shows the compound difference. He's starting to drop Mary's as well. She's struggling to hold on with the DRS, and is literally about to run out of ERS as well. Stonks is just on another level.
Stonks really on another level, as you said. Arrow's getting another 3-second penalty though.
Yeah, now down in P14, the consistency just not there, and Aiden now makes a move on Monkey, and up into P6 he goes. And we'll start chasing down Abisi Boy, trying to do what Stonks and Mary's are doing currently. He will have about, no, he'll have 9 laps to do it. Just under. In fact, actually no, less than that. That's my bad. He'll have about 6 laps. 6 laps. 7 full laps, sorry. We're chasing down. My maths is awful for them. Yes, 7 full laps chasing down. And Stonks. Well, we see the move happen this lap. BC Boy's been dumping his ERS, and Carsey's been checking out at the front. I hadn't been noticing that. The gap's almost 3 seconds. Oh, and Jake spun!
How did he spin that?
And, I don't know. He has spun, though. And that puts Arrows up into P13. And Jake's retired. Stonks now. Will he have the DRS or not? That's the question. It's going to be close. Using the ERS. Yes, he will have the DRS. So that's good news for Stonks. He can use that now to really catch up to a BC Boy. This is going to be rapid gaining now. And I think down into turn 1, this move is going to be a done deal. A BC Boy less than 10% ERS left at this stage. And Mary's just about got the DRS herself. It's close there for her.
I'm going to have to quickly pop to the toilet, Westy. I'll be back in a second.
No problem. There's now Stonks is so close to the back of the BC Boy. Going to be pushing his absolute hardest. The BC Boy gets a snap of oversteer. And Stonks knows he's in provisional P3. But will want to start pushing to give as much time as physically possible to catch up to Kai. And of course, the race leader Carsey. He knows he can win this one. And he'll be willing himself on to do it. As going into turn 1, this move has to happen, otherwise I don't think he's doing it. He will have 6 laps now to catch if he makes the move into turn 1. And yeah, he'll make the move. 100% he'll make the move. He's up before the braking zone, and that is the move done for him. As Mary's is now going to try and get past the BC Boy as fast as possible to hold on to Stonks, and then try and keep being dragged along, of course. Will want to make the move on a BC Boy to get up into the top 4 and thinks that podium's on. Mary still, of course, could get a podium with Kai having 6 second penalties and Mary's only having 3.
Did I miss anything in the minute I was gone?
Stonks got past the BC Boy.
Oh, yes he has.
And that will change the dynamic now. It will be Stonks just pushing. And Mary's is just going to try and get past the BC Boy now. Because, of course, podium's still on for Mary's with Kai having 6 second penalties. So we shall see. And Kai he now knows that Stonks is P3 and is chasing him down. So he will be starting to maybe up the ante here and start really going for it.
Yeah, Stonks is really going to be up in the ante now, as you said, Westy. He is gaining on Kai as well.
He is, and Stonks is... Yeah, we know how fast this man is. And Mary's has lost the DRS linkage to Stonks because the BC Boy's been in the way. Oh, that's a shame for Mary. She would have wanted to have that, and unfortunately doesn't. So he's going to have to catch up to Kai solo in this one. And can't even get past a BC Boy into turn 1. Not going well. A BC Boy knows that she needs to get past to get the position, so we'll just be holding on now. And this battling could be allowing Aiden into the fight, but I think the softs are starting to die off slightly because the gap's not closing as fast as it was before. And yes, it is a BRT 1, 2, 3, 4. Good spot.
And then
Close the gap in time. I don't think he can close the gap in time here. I don't think Stonks is close enough. I don't think he'll get close enough.
I don't either. I agree with you there, Westy.
He'll have 4 laps once he completes this one. But he's just not gaining. Why? Because they're doing the Red Bull approach. If you have 50 billion drivers, one of them has to be good. Which is pretty much what Red Bull Junior Academy do. They have Iwasa, they have Lawson, they did have Doohan, they have Hauger, they have Vips, Garuvala, they used to have Dan Tickton a while ago. They of course had Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen, Eric Verne, Antonio Felix da Costa, Sebastian Buemi. They've had a lot of top-level people.
Westy dog.
Eh?
The Red Bull Academy had
I wish.
Westy Dog last season.
Yeah, true. But yeah, not real life. I wish real life.
As Stonks, the gap is now down to 8.5
Oh,
seconds.
Lewinsky's out. Late safety car. Yes, we do. Oh, and this changes it completely.
Stonks
Surely
has won this
everyone's
race
pitting.
now.
Surely everyone's pitting. Your tyres are going to be dead if you don't. You've just got to pit onto a slightly used instead of completely used set. Yeah, I would say everyone has to pit now. Except for Omega, of course, who's literally just pitted.
Stonks has to
Right
win
then.
this race now.
Yeah, this is completely his to lose. But remember, safety car will come in at the end of lap 26. That's a guarantee. If you give us 2 laps of racing, it has to come in at the end of lap 26. We're about to go on to lap 26.
It depends if Michael Massey's in the steward's room or not.
He'll wait until Stonks is right there. Make a Carsey versus Stonks prediction. Stonks is going to win. Stonks is going to win.
Stonks is in.
Yeah, they're all going to come in, and Carsey's on some softs. Kai will be on some softs as well, and Stonks will head on to a set of softs. And Beastie Boy doing the same. Mary stays out. She stays out and is going to try and defend for her life here. That's going to be the strategy. Will it work though? In P2 doesn't actually take the place off of Carsey. This is going to be an interesting one to see. As my TV wants to turn off. Right then, I wanna hear a prediction. We're about Mary's. Where will she come? Will it be a podium or not?
I think the 2 drivers behind her have just got too much pace to be stuck behind her. I think this is Stonks' race to win, and then I think it'll be Carsey and Kai on the podium.
Well, of course though, DRS will not be activated for the rest of this race. Will Aiden catch up enough in time? What's the penalties looking like? Aiden's about there, but the gap to the leader currently, it's 1.5 seconds. Carsey only needs an extra 1.5 and he's beaten Stonks. Because Mary's is now in the way as well, could that throw Stonks slightly off balance?
It potentially could do, Westy.
And yeah, I agree with you, Drew. There, it could help. It could be the one. She could have absolutely sent it and smashed it, because of course no DRS makes it harder to overtake. But we'll see. We shall see. Of course, won't lose a position to Kai. It's unlikely. It's going to be between her and a BC boy, I think, unless she gets a great start and overtakes Carsey. Safety car coming at the end of this lap. Will Omega be close enough to Skyrius to get back going? Will he be on the back of this pack? Yes, he will be. And I think we might actually have a whole grid managing to group back up together, even though the safety car was only out for a single lap.
It does look that way.
Impressive. That is very impressive, and it has happened. Right then, when will Carsey go? He hasn't done the Kai, he hasn't gone very early. He's going to wait. Now he goes. Marius gets a bad start, not good for her. Won't get the jump on Carsey at the start, and we'll have to now just defend. And the BC boy, side by side with Stonks, and Skyrius is now out, but Stonks is going to have to defend here. Could a BC boy be saving Carsey's win as Marius gets overtaken by Kai? But BC boy could have just got Carsey this win. A BC boy being the good teammate and overtaking Stonks into turn 1, and Mary's, oh no, completely out of shape. It's all gone wrong for her, and it's not the right strategy. And I think Aiden is going to take a top 5 finish here.
Again.
Defend though. Oh, Stonks gets a penalty. It's over for Stonks. He gets the penalty, and I think Carsey's won it. A 1-2 for Mercedes. It's going to be Wow, what a turn of events this safety car has been. Carsey looking like it's his win now. It's a BC boy who's going to take second. It's going to be Stonks in third. Aiden in fourth, of course, due to Kai's penalty. If he can hold on a little bit more. It's going to be between Stonks and the BC boy for second, though. These are going to be fighting through the last bit. And Brian has saved Carsey's win. Forced Stonks into the mistake as well. And what great teamwork between Mercedes. Carsey is going to be ecstatic after this one.
He will be indeed. Back on the top step of the podium once again for Carsey.
Well, as long as he doesn't spin on the final lap, we haven't seen him bottle it before. But there's always a first for everything, isn't there? In racing, or in real life as well. And Stonks is the back of a BC boy going into turn one, and Stonks, he's cracked under the pressure. It's something you don't often see from Stonks. He's cracked. And he's almost got himself another penalty there. I think he's got himself 2 warnings in the last 2 laps. And yeah, Stonks just not quite performing.
He's not really, no. Since the safety car restart, Stonks hasn't really been the one that could potentially challenge Carsey.
Oh no, but here we go. Can he get the exit here? That's the question. He's going to be very, very close heading in to the final overtaking opportunity of the lap. Can he make it happen? A BC boy's trying to break the toe. Stonks going around the outside for some reason. Why is he going around the outside? That seems like a bad decision, but he's trying it anyway. Later on the brakes, he's been pushed wide by a BC boy. And the Mega gets a 3-second time penalty. But he dives down the inside again to Stonks. And will Brian be able to hold on for a 1-2 for Mercedes? No! He gets a snap of oversteer. He's lost it. A BC boy loses the podium at the last possible opportunity. And Stonks has held on to second place somehow at the end. What a race and what an ending. And I think Kai's going to get the podium in the end as well. A BC boy's more than 3 seconds off of Kai. Kai's going to take P3. A BC boy's bottled the podium. Aiden gets P5 out of almost nowhere, as he normally does. It's the Mega P6, Monkey Mary's P7, Monkey P8, Demo Dan P9, Arrows P10. Arrows gets P10, of course he does. And Jesper P11.
Only Arrows.
What a race. What a race.
Wow.
What a race. A 1, 2, 3, 4 for BRT, of course. And then you've got Aiden P5 breaking up the flow of the BRT boys. Pretty much there. But yeah, wow, what a race. And Jesper crosses the line to come over P11. It's glitched. How have we ended up with a glitched lobby right at the end? How?
I haven't got a clue.
Lucky it's glitched at the end though, isn't it? Shall we invite the top 3 into a party?
Let's do it.
There we go. It's finished now.
As Stonks gets driver of the day as well, Westy.
Yes, he does. From P11 to P2. What a race it was from him. And Carsey with the win in the end. What a race from him. I don't know how he managed to hold on. And Stonks, he ended up bottling it. He did. He just didn't make it work. And it's a big, big shame, but you know what? You need to have the bottle, and he didn't.
Is anyone going to be joining us, Westy?
I haven't invited them yet. I was waiting until this came up. 'Cause it's much easier than searching up all their names. Because I'm lazy. Yeah, basically. – Hello then, everybody. Welcome to the interview room, and you guys ended up with the podium at the end of that one. You got there in your own unique ways. Please allow your voice for the stream. And Stonks, I actually want to start off with you. What happened in qualifying?
I tried to get through all mediums because I knew from yesterday in BRS that medium softs were OP. So I was gonna do mediums anyway, and P11 was kind of what I was aiming for. Then at the end I was hoping to get through maybe with a cheeky P10, but Louis got ahead of me just, so it wasn't that bad, but could have been better.
Yeah, it definitely could have been better for you there, but you managed to make it work in the end. You got yourself a P2, and that safety car, it all went wrong as soon as a BC boy overtook you.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened there, man?
I had a terrible bike. Well, my tires were really cold, so I had a terrible restart. And then Obese Boy got me into turn 1, and yeah, I managed to. Maybe it was a bit on the aggressive side. I think it was fair, but I managed to dive on him.
It was just about fair, but it was very aggressive.
Yeah, I told myself I'm gonna make the dive bomb whatever happens. Well, unless I was obviously very far back, but I was in dive bomb region, so I had to make it then because it was the only overtaking possibility. But,
yeah, well, you made it happen and you got yourself that P2. So well done, mate. It could have been the win.
yeah.
But I'm sure
I got a
P2
pen.
must feel
I got a pen on the
pretty good as well,
penultimate
yeah.
lap as well, so
Yeah, that's what kind of ruined it for you in the end, unfortunately.
yep.
But very, very nicely done, Stonks. You put on it one hell of a race. What a
Thank
show
you.
that was. You pretty much dragged Mary's the whole time.
Yeah,
She was just kind of clinging on for dear life. But yeah.
Yeah,
very nicely
Murray's
done, mate.
pace was surprisingly good. So.
Yeah, it really was. Ruined it with the strategy at the end, unfortunately. Kai, next I want to talk to you. You finished P3 in the end, mate, but you know what? It was a great race from you as well. Penalties stopped you from getting P2 or maybe the win. You had the pace today. We saw that you got pole position. I had to say I didn't think you were going to get pole position in the end, but you did. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, well, it was a great start to begin with, like keeping the lead at turn 1. But there was a few things I needed to change on my setup. But I went to the toilet, so I didn't have time, and everyone readied up, so that went down the drain. And then I just couldn't stop getting penalties. I don't know what is. Carsey's pace was unreal in the race, and then I think Stonks pretty much just got me third because they lost like 2 seconds in the last lap with Brian in the.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Brian would have taken that podium. I was thinking 1-2 maybe for Mercedes. It wasn't to be 1-4 in the end, but yeah, you managed to split them, and you did very nicely indeed, Kai, throughout the whole race. And I think a shame you didn't get to battle Carsey a little bit more. Carsey was just in a league of his own.
Yeah, his pace was unreal, to be fair.
Yeah, well done, Kai. It's much better than last week, I have to say. Must feel much better than last week.
Yeah, I'll take P3.
So, yeah. Nicely done, mate. Nicely done. And Carsey, a familiar face around here, I think. I'm not too sure. I haven't really heard of you before. I seem to remember you've done like 1 or 2 things in the past. Maybe. I think you're beaten by Glasses in a couple F2 races in the past. That's right.
I'm happy to admit that. It's very good.
And Carsey, another textbook race. You took the lead and you disappeared. It's what you do. You got the whole 26 points, the whole shebang. Talk us through it.
It definitely wasn't as calm as it might have looked. So quali, I didn't expect to be anywhere. I have a setup that is just made for the race. I lose maybe half a second to what I could be doing in quali with this setup. So I had a really good lap for P2. So I was really happy with that, and I knew come the race I should be able to have Kai under wraps, but he was quicker than I thought, to be honest with you. A big problem though I had was I didn't get any notifications for any warnings or safety cars or anything. So I thought I had 0 warnings until I got my 3-second penalty, which I believe I could have very easily avoided if I knew I had 2 warnings. Because I was like, well, I could have easily backed out of it, but I thought, well, I'm on 0 warnings, I could just do it anyway, and then I got a penalty. So I'm happy. This is pretty much the first time I've touched the game in 2 weeks. I've been away, did next to no practice, but I had that set up. That was nice, and I think I just kept it more consistent than the rest, to be honest. I don't think I had the best outright pace, but I'm happy enough anyways.
Yeah, you took the win and you did it in wonderful style. 3 seconds was the gap in the end, even with a late safety car. That just shows how strong you were, mate. And
Thank you.
well, once again, you've come back with a bang, and you've shot yourself right the way up there, mate. And very, very nicely done.
Thanks very much, pal.
Yeah. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
Right then, thank you all so much for watching. Well done to the podium finishes. Well done to all of the finishers. And Arrows scored points.
As per usual.
He came P10.
P10.
We all knew it would happen. We called it at the beginning. He always comes P10. If he was in Tier 1 or Tier 7, he's always going to get P10. He got P10 again. So, just normal things from Arrows. He gained 9 places during the race, which is ridiculous. Same as Stonks, actually. But, yeah. Very, very well done to every single driver. Of course, Carsey with fastest lap in the end as well. So, thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye, guys. Make sure you tune